Hi students, this is A. Srinivas, lecturer in physics, Vignan Junior College, Vadlamudi. So students, we are discussing current electricity chapter from last 4 to 5 videos, and we continue the current electricity chapter further. Here we are discussing the cells. In previous video, I explained the basic structure of a cell. So cell consisting of 3 parts, that is positive electrode, negative electrode and electrolyte. Positive electrode is known as cathode, negative electrode is known as anode and electrolyte. And when the cell is connected to any external resistor through conductor, cell do work and it moves the electrons along the conductor. And I explained this working of a cell, basic structure of cell in previous video. But here one cell may not sufficient to have the required work. Suppose if you consider here this device in which I am changing the slides on the digital board. See, look into this one. We have 2 cells because the energy supplied by one cell may not be sufficient. We know that basically the one cell has potential difference of 1.5 volts. But to operate this one, we need 3 volts. That means we have to use 2 cells in proper combination. So in that way, this is one example. In that way, in all applications of the cells, as I discussed in last video, we apply the cells in case of inverters in houses for self-starting purpose and for electric flow in case of bikes, in case of cars, in case of all vehicles, light, in remote controls, in watches. In all these we need cell. But the work done by one cell may not be sufficient to do work properly. So that's why here we have to use combination of cells. Students, behind me there is a video playing. In that video you are observing a battery. A battery is a combination of cells. Suppose if you consider this one as a single cell, we are grouping up of the cells. Grouping up of cells becomes a battery. Here let us observe this animated video. Here we grouped up 3 cells. Look into this one. We grouped up 3 cells. When you grouped up 3 cells in any way, it becomes a battery, and that battery is useful to do the sufficient work for us. So here students, we are using battery in proper connection. Here let us look into this video further, continue. Here see 3 cells are connected in proper way, and so that once again you may look into this one. Here you are observing on the screen, you are observing 3 cells. The 3 cells are connected in proper way, and we get a required energy from the proper connection of the 3 cells. So here we continue this video. In that way we connected them in proper way, and that connection gives the sufficient energy. Then that combination of cells is connected to external resistance, so that we get required energy and we do work. So to obtain the required energy from cell, we must need the combination of cells. Here this present video is about the combination of cells. Present video is about the so contents that we have to discuss in this video are, these are the contents. Here students, the first content, cells in series. For the required purpose, we may connect cells in different ways. First one is cells in series, second one is cells in parallel. And here students, this diagram shows the series connection of cells, and this diagram shows the parallel connection of cells. And either side of me, this is series combination of cells, and this is the parallel combination of cells. So series, cells in series, cells in parallel, and grouping up of cells. So we may connect the cells, some cells in series and some group of cells in parallel. So combination of cells is the third one. And numericals, to understand the concept what we are discussing, we continue to solve the problems. So this is the present topic. series combination of cells, parallel combination of cells, and grouping up of cells and numericals. So let us move on to the first topic, that is cells in series. Here, this is the image in which you are observing series combination of cells. We frequently apply the series combination of cells in torchlight. So in this image, you are observing a torchlight in which two 1.5 volt batteries are connected in series. That gives the required energy 3 volts, so that we can use them in torchlight. So here in this device also we are using two cells, and these are also connected in series. Then net voltage given by the combination of cells is battery, and net voltage of this battery is 3 volts. So we are operating. So when I press it, it changing the slide, because energy, sufficient energy is provided by the combination of cells. That's why we need combination of cells. Here consider the two cells as shown here, each of 1.5 volts. If you connect both positive terminals to one end and negative terminals to other end, it becomes the parallel combination. Whereas let us look into this one. Here in this video, suppose these two negative terminals are connected here. Let us look into it. Here positive terminals are connected by this red wire and negative terminals are connected by the green wire. So all positive terminals are connected together to one end and negative terminals are connected together at second end. It becomes a parallel combination of cells. Remember students, when positive terminals are connected together of given cells and negative terminals are connected together to one point, it becomes the parallel combination. Whereas what is series combination? So let us continue this video. So you changed the cells as shown in this video. Here students, how we connected? Positive terminal of the first cell is connected to negative terminal of the second cell, and this combination becomes positive terminal of one cell connected to negative terminal of second cell. If you continue this process, if the positive terminal of this cell is connected to negative terminal of another cell, if this process continues as shown in this video, here this combination is known as the series combination of cells. Look into this highlighted region. Here this becomes the series combination. Positive terminal of one cell connected to negative terminal of the another cell. So here, if as is shown here, this becomes the parallel combination. All positive terminals are connected together. That was the parallel. This is the series combination of cells. Once again, look into how series combination of cells. This cell is of 1.5 volts. Here, just I stop the video and look into it. This is the first cell having 1.5 volt potential difference. We prepared the cell with 1.5 volts potential difference, and we take identical cell having another 1.5 volts potential difference. We connected them as shown in this diagram, such that positive terminal of the first cell connected to negative terminal of the second cell, and so on. If you have any number of cells, if you continue this connection as I explained here, positive terminal of the first cell is connected to negative terminal of the second cell, and so on. This becomes, students, this is the series combination of cells, which gives the net voltage as the sum of the voltages of the cells. So later we derive the expressions by using physics phenomena. Just I am explaining, if series combination of cells takes place as shown in the diagram, given by the combination is sum of the voltages of the cells in series combination. So here, that's what we observed in the previous video about the basic structures of series combination and parallel combination of cells. Let us continue the cells in series combination. So here in this part of discussion, once again I explain how to connect cells in series combination. When the combination of cells is said to be series, that is the first one, then what is the resultant EMF given by the series combination of cells? Then what is the current due to combination of series combination of cells through any external resistance? If external resistance is connected for series combination of cells, then what is the current passing through external resistance? These are the three parts that we have to know in this discussion. That that is series combination of cells. Next one is, let us consider a cell. Let this be a cell having EMF E1, internal resistance R1. We know that the cell has electrolyte inside the cell, what we discussed in the previous video. Electrolyte may offer the oppositions to the flow of ions through them. This opposition offered by electrolyte to oppose the flow of electrons flow of ions is known as the internal resistance of a cell. Each and every cell has some internal resistance. If that is used for a long time, internal resistance increases. A fresh cell has a newly prepared cell may have very negligible internal resistance. As we are using it, the internal resistance of cell is increasing due to chemical reactions happening in electrolyte. So anyhow, the oppositions offered by electrolytes to the flow of ions through it is internal resistance. Let's consider the first cell having EMF E1 and internal resistance R1. Let us consider second cell now in this animation. E2 is the internal resistance of second cell and R2 is internal resistance. EMF of second cell and internal resistance. Let us consider three cells. To have a clear identification, I represent the three cells in three different colors. Let us consider this orange color cell having EMF E3 and internal resistance R3. Here let us look at the polarities. Here this is the positive terminal of the cell, negative terminal. For second cell, positive terminal and negative terminal. Here the cell at which we have some projection is considered to be positive terminal. This is the projection given to the cell, let it be positive terminal. So for third cell also, this is positive terminal. The side at which there is a projection is let it be positive terminal. You recognize the positive terminal of the cell by the projection given over the cell diagram. This is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal. Even in daily used cells, when you look into the cell which you are using in our daily life also has the projection at one end, let it be positive, and flat end let it be negative. Same indication, same scenario is explained in this one. Now how to connect these three separate cells in series, that is the important point. Already explained the connection of series in previous video. Once again we continue the discussion in the three cells. We have three cells now, as I explained, having EMFs E1, E2, E3, internal resistance R1, R2, R3 respectively. To have series connection of the cells, positive of the first cell is connected to negative terminal of the second cell. I repeat, positive terminal of the first cell is connected to negative terminal of the second cell. So let us see this animation. And similarly, we continue the same situation. Positive terminal of the second cell is connected to negative terminal of the third cell. This is the connection. For any number of cells, you continue this procedure, what we discussed. It becomes series combination of cells. For example, consider the three cells. First cell, positive terminal of the first cell is connected to negative terminal of the second cell. In the same way, positive terminal of the second cell connected to negative terminal of the third cell. If you continue this connection, this becomes the series combination of cells. Now cells are said to be in series. For the working of cells, we connect the series combination of cells. Any combination of cell. Now this combination is battery. Now combination of cells becomes a battery. Now we have a battery. By grouping up of cells in series, we get a battery. For the working of this battery, we have to connect this combination to external resistance. This is the connection. Here we connected the positive terminal of the third cell. Between the positive terminal of the third cell, once again I show this connection. Positive terminal of the last cell and the negative terminal of the first cell are connected together through a resistor. This is the final connection. Then this combination of cells do work and moves the electrons in the conductor. This is, white line is a good conductor. So we have electrons. There are electrons in this good conductor, and this combination of cells, that is battery, do work and move the electrons in the good conductor, and current is conducting through the resistor. In place of resistor, we may use anything. We may use light, we may use fan, we may use a remote control, we may use watch. So whatever the device, we need energy is kept in place of resistor. We replace the resistor with any device. This combination moves the electrons, do work and moves the electrons through the device. In this way, the combination of cells do work. Then what is the effective EMF, effective resistance, and what is the net current flows through this resistor due to combination of cells. These are the required things in physics. Now, so let us move on to the further discussion. Here, the very important point that I am explaining now, we have to know what is the effective EMF of this combination of cells. That is the essential thing here. What is the effective EMF of combination of cells? And that effective EMF, how the current is producing, how much amount of current is passing through the resistor due to the combination of cells. To evaluate that value, we have to consider some basic laws in current electricity. One such a basic law in current electricity is Kirchhoff's voltage rule and Kirchhoff's current rule. Here, one basic law in that one is here Kirchhoff's voltage rule, voltage law. Students, this is the important point. Kirchhoff's voltage law. This is Kirchhoff's second law. You might have studied this Kirchhoff's laws in your 10th standard. In school level, you know a basic idea about the Kirchhoff's voltage law, and in next discussion we highlighted this Kirchhoff's voltage law discussion in a particular video, but here we have to apply this Kirchhoff's voltage loop in the circuit. We have a closed circuit, we have a loop. When you connect combination of cells through a resistor, we have a loop now. And in this loop, students, we have to apply Kirchhoff's voltage law. In this part of video, we repeatedly apply Kirchhoff's voltage law for 4 to 5 times. That's why the statement of Kirchhoff's voltage law is algebraic sum of EMFs. Students, consider this statement. Algebraic sum of EMF, algebraic sum of EMFs are potential differences, algebraic sum of potential differences in closed loop is 0, closed loop is 0. Algebraic sum means take positive and negative according to the sign of this potential difference. We have to add with proper sign. Positive potential differences are considered to be positive, negative potential differences considered to be negative. Take sum with its sign, along with sign. If you take sum along with their sign, that becomes algebraic sum. Algebraic sum of potential differences. So when current is passing through a resistor, we have potential difference. So algebraic sum of potential differences in closed loop, that must be a closed loop. It should not be open circuit. As shown here, we must have a closed loop. Algebraic sum of potential differences in a closed loop is 0. Here in this video image, we are having a loop, and algebraic sum of potential differences in a closed loop is 0. So let us assume that flow of current in this closed loop. Here, as positive terminals are at the right side for every battery, and we assume positive charges are moving like that. We are considering conventional direction. Here students, we are considering a conventional direction. This is the conventional direction, flow of positive charges. Flow of positive charges. Positive charges are flown away from positive terminal of the battery. So this is the conventional direction in which the positive charges, conventionally we have to assume positive charges are flowing in the circuit. This is the conventional direction. See, throughout the circuit, in this loop, I put arrow marks everywhere. At every place I put arrow mark. Students, let us see this image. I am drawing the direction of flow of positive charges, conventional direction of current. Let I be the current passing. Because all are in series, same amount of current must pass through each one. So through this resistor, through this cell, through the second resistor, through the third cell, through the third resistor, as well as through the conductor, and through this resistor, through all elements of electric devices in the circuit which are connected in series, same amount of current passes. So this is the very important one, students. If electric devices, whatever the device may be, it may be cell, it may be resistor, later it may be a diode, whatever it may be. If electric devices are connected in series, same amount of current must pass through it. That's why I consider, let I be the current passing through this loop, through each and every electric device, through all cells, as well as through all internal resistance, as well as through external resistance. Let R be the external resistance. Let R be the external resistance of the external resistor. Then through each and every element of the circuit, conventionally, same amount of current I is passing as shown direction. And we will apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in clockwise direction. This is the clockwise direction. Look into this explanation. I put a clockwise direction here. In this clockwise direction, we apply Kirchhoff's voltage law for this closed loop by knowing proper values. What is Kirchhoff's voltage law? Algebraic sum of potential differences in closed loop is 0. Students, it is not only up to this explanation, this part of explanation repeatedly. So we have to apply Kirchhoff's voltage rule throughout this chapter. It is very basic law. Even in this video, so in further we have to apply Kirchhoff's voltage law for 4 to 5 times. That's why you must have an idea about it. So come to the first element. What is the EMF of this element? E1. E1. And current is passing in this direction. Suppose we have this resistor. Let R be the resistance of the resistor. Let I be the current passing through it. Let us consider resistor. This is the direction of flow of current. Students, observe it carefully. Let I be the current passing through the given resistor, having resistance small r. Current is passing in this direction. Means what it indicates? This left side, let A be at higher potential, B is at lower potential. Then only current passes from A to B. Current is passing from A to B means current always travels from higher potential to lower potential. So VA is the must be greater than VB potential at B. VA must be greater than VB. Current is passing from A to B means A is at higher potential than B. Then potential difference, if you apply Kirchhoff's law in clockwise direction, Kirchhoff's law in clockwise as shown in the arrow mark direction, we have to consider VB minus VA. Arrow mark direction means final minus initial. What is final? VB. So when you apply Kirchhoff's law in clockwise direction, the change in potential difference, algebraic sum of change in potential differences in a closed loop is 0. So potential difference means itself is VB minus VA. Potential at B is VB, potential at A is VA. Here I explained that sum of potential difference. What is meant by potential difference in the considered direction? VB minus VA. As VB is less value, VB minus VA is equal to potential difference is here IR, I into R. We know that V is equal to IR. According to Ohm's law, IR is the potential difference. So, but IR is the potential difference, okay, but VB minus VA, VB is less potential, VA is more potential, VB minus VA is negative. So, potential difference becomes IR. So, I repeat the explanation because we use this same expression in every time. So, let us consider resistor of resistance small r and current is passing as shown in the diagram. Let I be the current. Then as current is moving, is passing through this resistor in the right side direction, A must be at higher potential, B must be at lower potential. Then if you apply the potential difference expression as shown in the arrow mark direction, the final potential is VB, initial potential is VA, then potential difference is VB minus VA. Potential difference, VB has less value than VA, so potential difference is negative. According to Ohm's law, potential difference is IR and it is negative minus IR. So what is the conclusion? What is one symbol here? What we have to remember from this above discussion? If current is passing through resistor in one direction, if you apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in same direction, current is passing suppose in this direction. If you apply Kirchhoff's voltage law along the same direction, then potential drop across that resistor is minus IR. Very, very important explanation, students. To solve so many numericals in JEE Main or IIT, in further discussions, we have to discuss some very important devices like meter bridge, Wheatstone bridge, potentiometer and their numericals. So for all these discussions, coming discussion current electricity, this explained sign convention is most important. So what is the conclusion from the above explanation? When current is passing in this direction through a resistor, then we apply Kirchhoff's law in same direction, then potential difference across the resistor is minus IR. That's what I concluded there. Therefore, let us apply Kirchhoff's voltage law for this total loop. Algebraic sum of potential differences in a closed loop is 0. So consider the battery. What is the EMF of the battery? This is at higher potential, positive. This is lower potential. We are applying Kirchhoff's law in this direction, in clockwise direction. That's why, so positive minus negative. So when you consider the cell, this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal. All explained here. So what is the EMF? Positive minus negative means positive, E1. Students, consider E1. Across the internal resistance, current is traveling in right side direction. We are applying Kirchhoff's voltage law in same direction. So according to this above explanation, minus IR1 comes to this one. Here plus minus plus minus. So positive minus negative. So it is positive. So E2, and current is traveling in the same direction, I, and we are applying Kirchhoff's voltage law in same direction. Then potential drop becomes minus IR. So minus IR2. Here also in the same way, plus E3 minus IR3. And here when you consider the resistor, current is traveling in this direction. So once again I am showing the arrow marks. In this direction current is passing through the resistor. And we apply the Kirchhoff's law in the same direction. Therefore, potential drop across the resistor is minus equal to 0. So students, I hope you understood this explanation of Kirchhoff's law. Here, this is the cell having positive terminal here, negative terminal here. The first cell, the change in potential difference from second end to first end is positive, so E1. And here, when current is traveling in a resistor, we apply Kirchhoff's law in same direction, then potential difference is negative minus IR1 plus E2 minus IR2 plus E3 minus IR3 here. And as current is traveling in same direction towards left side direction for this resistance, we apply clockwise direction towards left side, Kirchhoff's voltage rule. So minus IR is equal to 0. Plus E1 minus IR1 plus E2 minus IR2 plus E3 minus IR3 minus IR is equal to 0. Algebraic sum of currents. From this, we have to find I value. Then the next here is, this implies E1, add positive values together at one place. E1 plus E2, students, plus E3, positive values, EMFs added together, EMFs of all batteries. And take minus I common, minus I into sum of internal resistances R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus capital R is equal to 0. This is equal to 0. So I segregated them, positive values and negative values. E1 plus E2 plus E3 minus of I into R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus capital R is equal to 0. And bring this value to the RHS. Then it becomes E1 plus E2 plus E3 is equal to I of the sum of the resistances in the circuit of series combination, R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus capital R. Now take cross multiplication. Take cross multiplication, we get this step. I is equal to, this is the final step that we get here, I is equal to E1 plus E2 plus E3 whole divided by, just on cross multiplying this equation, we get I is equal to E1 plus E2 plus E3 whole divided by capital R plus R1 plus R2 plus R3. So, what it indicates, what result, conclusion we get? Suppose we have any number of cells in series with their internal resistances as R1, R2, R3. This combination is series combination of cells connected to some external resistance. Then current passing through the circuit in the closed loop is algebraic sum of EMFs, of all net EMF of the series combination is, we have to grasp the result from this expression so that we apply for numericals. The net current is algebraic sum of EMFs, E1 plus E2 plus E3. Net EMF is algebraic sum of EMFs, E1 plus E2 plus E3 whole divided by sum of resistances, R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus capital R. All are added in series, all resistances are added in series. So, I is equal to algebraic sum of EMFs, E1 plus E2 plus E3, net EMF of series combination whole divided by the sum of resistances, internal and external. So, capital R plus R1 plus R2 plus R3. So, this is the expression, very, very important expression for series combination of cells. So, if you group the cells to a battery, this combination of cells as a battery, then we have a battery, this is the battery having EMF E and internal resistance R and as usual external resistance capital R. So, this combination of series combination of cells is replaced by a single cell having EMF capital E and internal resistance small r as usual external resistance capital R. That E is given by E1 plus E2 plus E3, understood, and the small r is given by R1 plus R2 plus R3. So, E is equal to ES is the effective resistance, effective EMF of the series combination, and RS is the effective resistance of series combination, ES. Let this is the battery of effective EMF ES of combination, and internal resistance is RS for effective value and capital R is external. I is equal to, this numerator is considered to be S by R plus this sum of internal resistance considered to be RS. So, here ES is considered to be E1 plus E2 plus E3. RS is considered to be R1 plus R2 plus R3. For any number of cells in series, we apply the same formula. If any number of cells are connected in series and then connected to external resistor, current through network is I is equal to effective EMF in series combination by external resistance plus effective resistance of series combination. This is the ultimate expression. Whereas effective EMF of series combination of all cells is algebraic sum of EMFs, E1 plus E2 plus E3, and effective resistance in series is sum of resistance, sum of all internal resistance added to give the internal resistance of the cell. So, RS is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 and so on, ES is equal to E1 plus E2 plus E3 and so on, that is effective divided by R plus effective resistance of series combination. These two expressions gives the effective EMF and effective resistance of series combination. So, very important explanation, students. I hope you understood this explanation. Let us move on to the identical cells. Suppose this is the first cell of EMF E, external resistance, internal resistance small r. Take identical cell. So, use the same cell having same EMF E and internal resistance small r. Another identical cell of EMF E and internal resistance small r. So, these are connected in series as shown in the diagram. Suppose we group them, n cells are connected and so on. Let us consider n such cells are connected in series, all identical cells, each having EMF capital E and internal resistance small r. Take n identical cells, put them in series combination, as we know the connection series combination, connect them to the external resistance capital R. Then according to the what we discussed in the previous part, total EMF of series combination is E1 plus E2 plus E3 and so on. So, E plus E plus E and so on n times, understood. Therefore, NE. The n cells, each of EMF E are connected in series. Here, what is the data here means n cells, each of EMF E connected in series. The net EMF is E plus E plus E and so on n times. Then it becomes NE. This is the EMF of all cells in series combination. As well as total internal resistance R1 plus R2 plus R3 in previous discussion. Now small r plus small r plus small r so on n times, because n cells are connected in series. Small r plus small r plus small r and so on n times. Therefore, net internal resistance is NR. Therefore, total resistance of the circuit is internal plus external. Total resistance of the circuit, internal plus external. A sum of internal resistance is NR plus external resistance is capital R. Here, this is the external resistance of capital R. When internal resistance are added together, it becomes NR. N small r plus capital R is the total resistance of the circuit. Then, this is the combination of cells are grouped to a battery, single battery having effective EMF ES and effective internal resistance RS and external resistance capital R. Then the formula is what we know, I is equal to effective EMF by sum of internal resistances plus external resistance. So, see this formula. NE, same as the previous explanation. We extended that explanation for n identical cells. I is equal to NE small r plus n capital R. Very, very important formula for the extension. N into small e by n into small r plus capital R. This is net EMF. This is net internal resistance. Students, this is net EMF of all cells together. This is net internal resistance of all cells together in series combination plus external resistance. So, NE by n into small r plus capital R is the net current passing through the resistor in series combination. Here the current is passing in this direction. I with the current, that I is given by this expression. Okay. Let us move on to the another same. Here, let us consider the formula what we explained. I is equal to n into E for n identical cells connected in series, NE by net resistance is NR plus capital R. I is equal to NE by N plus capital R, current. In that we have to consider two sub cases. How the current formula changes in two sub cases. One sub case is if external resistance is very, very less than internal resistance. Here NR considered to be internal resistance, students. Capital R is external resistance. This is capital R. NR is the sum of resistances of the batteries, that is net internal resistance. Capital R is very, very less than NR. When this happens? For a old battery, used battery. If you use the battery, which is combination of cells, if you use the battery for a long time, if you use a clock, inbuilt battery clock is used for 1 year, it discharged, then what happens? Due to chemical reactions, the internal resistance becomes very, very high. Used battery. In case of used battery, case 1 belongs to used battery, used for a long time. Then what happens? Resistance increases to very high value. So, in such scenario, so here consider this formula. Here NR plus capital R, sum of this NR is very, very high, considered to be NR. Therefore, this becomes N into E divided by NR. Small r is negligible, capital R is negligible. Capital R is negligible in value comparing with net internal resistance for used battery. Remember example for long time, then NR is very, very high. Sum of internal resistance for external resistance almost equal to internal resistance, then N get cancelled, that becomes E. So, net EMF of series combination of cells just equal to EMF of one cell. What is the use of using such combination? No use, because though you are using so many cells together to prepare a battery and use in series combination, you get EMF of one cell. So, if result for any number of cells in series gives EMF of one cell, then there is no use of it. That is why for a used battery gives EMF equal to EMF of one cell. That is why we have to throw out it. We have to replace it by a new battery. A used battery for a long time comes through this explained case, which gives a resultant of one EMF. Current through used battery is current through one resistor. So, E by R, current given by one cell. Current given by combination of cells is also equal to current given by one cell. Then there is no use of using battery. All cells forming and giving current due to one cell. Then it is a useless combination. We have to replace it. So, for a used battery, this is the situation. If you consider a fresh, we loaded a new battery in a watch. Then what happens? New battery doesn't start any chemical reaction. That's why its internal resistance, this is a new battery, newly connected battery, new battery. So, in case of new battery, internal resistance is negligible. NR very, very less than capital R. So, consider this formula. NR into sum of internal resistance for a fresh battery is less than external resistance. So, here we have to write this, arrange the formula, modify this formula as NR is negligible value now for a fresh battery, a new battery. Internal resistance is negligible. It offers almost negligible resistance to the flow of current as NR is negligible. So, that becomes N times. So, current, now observe this, the current produced by the battery group of cells is the EMF of each cell. Now, it is giving more current. In previous case, current is N E by R, now the current is N E by R. We are getting N times current. We are getting more current when internal resistance is very, very less than external resistance. That is why this is the reason for the replacing a used battery with new battery. Used battery is useless because the current given by used battery, though it has so many combinations, equal to just one cell. Whereas fresh battery, the EMF becomes NE, effective EMF becomes NE, and current produced by a new battery is NE by R. So, when internal resistance is negligible, we must use series combination of cells. So, I am concluding when internal resistance is negligible for a battery, that is a newly prepared battery, then use them in series combination. We get advantage by connecting them in series. Series combination is advantage when resistance is negligible compared to external resistance. So, students, this is the conclusion. What I explained so far, this is the conclusion. When internal resistance is negligible for a new battery, fresh battery, comparison to external resistance, then cells are connected in series to get maximum current. So, very important conclusion. Here, students, next we go for cells in parallel. We continue the discussion for cells in parallel. So, let us see. Take the cells which we connected in series. Now, let this be the first cell of EMF E1 and internal resistance R1. This is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal of the given cell. Let us consider second cell of EMF E2 and internal resistance R2. Second cell. This is the positive terminal, this is the negative terminal. Consider third cell of EMF E3 and internal resistance R3. Cells are similar. We consider the similar cells having EMFs E1, E2, E3 respectively and internal resistance R1, R2, R3 respectively. All on right side we have positive terminals of the three batteries, on left side we have negative terminals. We are represented here, we represented negative terminals as well as positive cells. Look into it, they are like that. Now we have to connect them in parallel, and first we have to know what is how to connect them in parallel, and then what is the effective EMF in parallel and what is the current produced by parallel combination. When parallel combination is advantageous, those things we have to discuss now. So, to connect them in parallel, see. So, once again I will show, if all positive terminals of cells are connected together at one point, all negative terminals are connected together at another point, it becomes a parallel combination. I repeat, because this is the very critical, crucial point for this discussion. If all positive terminals of the cells are connected together and all negative terminals of the cells are connected together, it becomes a parallel combination. So, look into this video, you get that animation like this, right? All positive terminals are connected together to a point, some point here. Let this point be A. All positive terminals are connected together to point A. All negative terminals must be connected to one single point, let it be B, as shown in the diagram. Then this is the parallel combination of cells. This grouping up of cells as this explanation, as shown in this explanation, is parallel combination of cells. It becomes a battery in parallel combination of cells. And as usual, for the working of this battery, we connect this parallel combination to external resistance. See the animation in which I connected them to the external resistance. As usual, let capital R be the external resistance of the cell. Here further, we have to find the current passing as well as effective EMF combination. Here the current given by the, because every cell has ability to do work and move the electrons, because every cell has its own EMF and it do work and it moves the electrons through the conductor given to it. Let I1 be the current passing by the through the first cell. Through the second cell, I2 is the current, because the cells are different, they are producing different currents. Let I3 be the current. In this direction, conventionally, away from positive charges, current passing through the first cell is I1, second cell is I2, third cell is I3 respectively in conventionally as shown direction, in right side direction. Then all these currents are added here. All these currents added at this point. See, this is the important point, students. One more important point. Here we have to apply Kirchhoff's current law. Kirchhoff's current law. That Kirchhoff's current law, all currents. So at a junction, algebraic sum of currents is 0, or sum of the currents reaching the junction is equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction. Sum of the currents reaching the junction is I1 is the current reaching the junction from first cell. From second cell, I2 is the current reaching the junction B, junction A, as well as I3 is the current reaching the junction from third battery. Algebraic sum of current reaching the junction A is I1 plus I2 plus I3. From A, the current leaving the junction, here current leaving the junction from A is, let it be I. So this is equal to I. Once again, students, I repeat, we are discussing Kirchhoff's current law now. Already explained Kirchhoff's voltage rule in series combination. Now we need Kirchhoff's current law. Very simple law. You might have studied in your class, school level, 10th class. Just I am recalling that formula. When we have a junction A, some currents are reaching the junction and the currents are leaving the junction. What are the currents reaching the junction? I1 is reaching the junction A, I2 is reaching the junction B, as well as I3 is reaching the junction A. I1, I2, I3 are the currents simultaneously reaching the junction A. So algebraic sum of currents reaching the junction A means I1 plus I2 plus I3. It is equal to current leaving the junction. Current leaving the junction is I. So I1 plus I2 plus I3 are the algebraic sum of currents reaching the junction. It is equal to algebraic sum of current leaving the junction. Very simple. We simply understood this concept. There is no complication. Algebraic sum of currents reaching the junction is I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to algebraic sum of current leaving the junction is I. Both are equal. This is known as Kirchhoff's current law. This is also known as the first law. So we apply it at the required time. So let us move on to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law. Here by applying Kirchhoff's voltage law in every loop. So when you apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in first loop, I hope you apply Kirchhoff's voltage law easily, because we discussed already in series combination. Let us consider the loop. Here I is the current passing through the resistor. As far as this loop is considered, B first battery, A resistor. This is one loop. Students, B is one point, first battery, then go for A and then resistor. This is one loop. Apply Kirchhoff's law for the voltage rule for this loop in clockwise direction. Currents are passing. I1 is the current passing through the first battery. Only I1 is the current passing through the first battery. Then apply this one. Here the potential difference of the EMF of the cell is E1. As the current is traveling in the direction and we apply the Kirchhoff law in the same direction, then potential drop across the internal resistance is minus IR. I explained it number of times, minus I1 R1. And similarly, we apply Kirchhoff's law, volt potential drop Kirchhoff's law in this direction towards left side, and current is also traveling in the same direction through the resistor capital R. So minus IR is equal to 0. E1 minus I1 R1 minus IR is equal to 0. Similarly, students, when you consider B, second cell, A and external resistance, forget about this one for a while. Forget this one for a while and consider only this loop. B and then second cell A and external resistance. Then in the same manner, we write same way E2 EMF minus I2 R2 minus IR is equal to 0. From this we write the I2, take I common. So write I2, here I2 is equal to E2 minus IR. Bring this I2 R2 to the RHS. Then it becomes E2 minus IR. Then on cross multiplying, rearranging this equation, we get I2 is equal to E2 minus IR by small r2. Rearranging above equation, we get I1. So bring this value to the RHS and cross multiply, we get I1 is equal to E1 minus IR by R1. Similarly, when you consider B, third cell, A and resistance, this loop, forget about the first two, and B, cell, A and resistor, this loop. Then expect the formula, how we get similarly, E3 minus I3 R3, E3 here, minus I3 R3, then minus IR is equal to 0. Yes, we get the same thing. E3 minus I3 R3 minus IR is equal to 0. Rearranging this one for I3, then I3 becomes E3 minus IR whole divided by R3. Then apply Kirchhoff's current law. So I1, I2, I3 are the currents reaching the junction A and I is the current leaving. Algebraic sum of currents reaching the junction is equal to current leaving the junction. So by applying Kirchhoff's current law, we have this formula, I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. So replace I1 by this formula, E1 minus IR by R1, second by this formula and third by this formula. So this is the way in which we get the current in case of parallel combination. E1 minus IR whole divided by R1 plus E2 minus IR whole divided by R2 plus E3 minus IR whole divided by R3. In that way we get a current in parallel combination. Here rearranging this one, students, for when you make this combination to single cell, this combination of cells considered to a battery, single battery, let EP be the effective EMF of this battery in parallel combination, RP is the effective resistance, capital R is the external resistance. When you replace the parallel combination of cells with a single battery, here the effective EMF, the effective current as usual, we write I is equal to, here we write this formula, what I shown there, effective EMF divided by external resistance plus sum of internal resistances. This is the idea in which we write the formula. I is equal to effective EMF in parallel combination by effective internal resistance of the parallel combination plus external resistance. Then the very, very critical and crucial expression for EP and RP, already we derived the expressions. I show the current expression in previous slide. By rearranging and by simplifying it, we evaluate EP. Students, remember this is the expression by which we find EP. EP by RP is equal to E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 plus E3 by R. This is the easy way to find out EP, effective EMF in parallel combination. In series, ES is simply E1 plus E2 plus E3. Students, in ES is E1 plus E2 plus E3, but EP doesn't like that. So it is somewhat clumsy. To find EP, we have an arrangement of expression. With this structure, with this arrangement, we find EP by RP is E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 plus E3 by R3. Okay. We know E1 in the data, R1 its internal resistance, E2, R2, E3, R3. By using these values, we may find EP. Then what is RP? So RP, we simply use a parallel expression. If resistors are connected in parallel, effective resistance find out by using this formula. Effective resistance find out for parallel combination of resistance by this formula. 1 by RP is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. 1 by RP. This is the simplest way of representing are finding this EP value and RP value. This is the simplest way. Two expressions in parallel. For parallel combination of cells, this is the way in which we find EP, effective EMF of parallel combination, RP, effective resistance, internal resistance of parallel combination. These two are determined by using these expressions. You must remember these expressions. EP by RP is equal to E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 plus E3 by R3. This is the way to know about EP, whereas to find RP we have one more expression, parallel expression, parallel effective resistance formula. 1 by RP is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. From this find RP, use this RP in this formula and find EP. Use EP and RP in this formula, we find I. So in this order we find the value of current. Student, we have to discuss few more phenomena and numericals and effective parallel EMF and current for identical cells in parallel combination. Few more discussions to be done in this parallel combination and numericals to be solved. Already I explained this video for more than 1 hour, so I can't continue now because some technical problems are there. So in next video I continue this parallel combination of cells and numericals in series and parallel and grouping up of cells will be discussed in the next video. Students, thank you one and all.